When you think of museums, art, history, and science are probably the first things that come to your mind. But today on the OK Connection, we're visiting one museum that takes all three of those things to tell a different story. You might even call it a Toy Story.
We have enough action figures that every person that lives here can have two.
Wait, what did he just say?
We have enough action figures that every person that lives here can have two.
And with that, I know where we're going next. If you hop in the car and go about an hour south of Norman, you'll run into Pauls Valley, Oklahoma, a town of about 6,000 people and 13,000 toys.
We have enough action figures that every person that lives here can have two.
Those 13,000 action figures are all housed in the Toy and Action Figure Museum. Now, I'm sure you're ready to see the inside, but for now, let's hear from the museum's director, Kevin Stark, about how this whole thing got started.
The city in the year 2000 did a visioning process. A group of local citizens got together and planned the growth of the city for the next 10 years. They wanted an arts council, they wanted an arts and cultural center, they wanted a theater group, and they wanted unique tourist attractions in the downtown area. Well, I joked with the committee and said I was the unofficial tourist attraction because I had all these toys that people would come knock on my door to try to see. I said, I'm the unofficial tourist attraction, we ought to make it official. I was joking, they took me serious.
Okay, now that you have the backstory, most of the things you see in the museum came from Stark's personal collection.
My collection was what provided the initial push for the museum, and now still makes up 80 to 90% of what you see in the museum.
But, if you can believe it, this still isn't everything.
You're not even seeing the whole collection.
Oh, wow.
When you come to the museum.
Yeah.
We've got tons more. The attic here is full. The other building I have is full, and I've got another room full in the back of my present gallery.
Oh, wow.
So I've got tons of stuff.
Sure. Throughout the museum, there are several displays highlighting a variety of things to see.
This is your adult collector's bedroom diorama. This was what happens when an adult collector's collection gets out of hand. This area is devoted to Kyle Wendricks, a sculptor who's originally from Purcell, Oklahoma. So he has sculpted all of the toys along this wall. DC versus Marvel. Now, you're either a DC guy or you're a Marvel guy. The outer space toys have come in here. We got everything from, Flash Gordon to Star Wars to Lost in Space. And for all you British television fans, Doctor Who. My favorite action figure in the whole place. That's the Meat from Rocky. And what action figure museum would be complete without superhero underwear? You have to have superhero underwear. This shows the Star Wars action figures from the 1970s to what they're putting out today. And now, we're going to go in the Batcave.
In the third, maybe you know why on the slipstream. Smooth as Listerine. Ooh, it's like a loose.
Batman has so much stuff, he gets his own room. This is the military room. So we've recreated World War II in 12-inch tall action figures.
Now, when you first hear about a toy museum, you might think it's more of a kid's attraction, but Stark says that's not always the case.
We have a lot of young families, for instance, that come in thinking, oh, this is just for the kids. That they're not going to care anything about it. But 5 minutes in, Dad, and sometimes Mom, is going, wow, I had that as a kid. Come here, kids, look, I had this. The kids don't care what Dad had, but they are reliving their childhood right there.
Now make no mistake, kids love it too.
Can you do the voice? I'm Batman. I'm Batman. No, I'm Batman. No, I'm Batman.
Since the museum opened, people from all over the world have visited the town.
It has brought a ton of people to Pauls Valley from all over the world. We've had people there from over 40 foreign countries and every state in the union. So a lot of people. And we average between 15 and 20,000 visitors a year.
Transforming it, because now in Pauls Valley, there's more than meets the eye.
Oklahoma weather can be unpredictable at times, with tornadoes at the top of the list. One town just south of the Kansas line is still feeling the effects of a twister that blew through in 20 years ago. But it may not be exactly what you think. You'll find out what we mean today on the OK Connection.
Train trying to outrun the past.